Valentine's Day is just around the corner. And for some people, it's a wonderful romantic day. And they look forward to the chocolates and the roses and that one special person doing something very fancy for them. But for many people, it's a day when they feel left out, lonely, disappointed, and maybe don't enjoy the day at all. So I'd like to encourage you to do a special appreciation day for friends and family on Valentine's Day. Express your love to them, let them know how special they are to you, and have a fun and memorable evening. Maybe you've never done this before, so I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly what you need to do. This is going to be the simplest 4 or 5 course meal you've ever tried. And in fact, everything, well, mostly everything, is going to be red or pink. But before we start dealing with the food, let's have a look at the table. So I want to show you how simple it is to make a fun and festive table. What I've done is I have taken some white doilies. I happen to have found some square ones, but you could get round ones. And if in the part of the world where you live you can't get hold of doilies, just get some paper, cut it into squares, maybe a bright color, and put that down as your placemat. Now, I think white plates are an essential thing if you're going to be offering hospitality. So get yourself a set of inexpensive plain white plates and put the plate down next. That acts as a charger. It centers the place setting, and you can build layer upon layer on top of that. I've chosen to put just a pink and white polka dot napkin. You could use a red one, you could use one with hearts, you could even use a plain white one. And then I'm layering it with yet another white plate and another doily, just to make it a little bit more decorative. This time I have a pink one, but a white one or a red one would work fine. And then we're going to have our appetizer sitting right on top of this. And I'm going to show you in a minute how to make a very, very easy, beautiful pink starter for your dinner. Now, when it comes to Valentine's Day, the florists hike their prices, that in fact you're almost paying $100 for a bunch of roses. So maybe you need to just avoid using flowers on your Valentine's table. And what I love to do is use food, because it can be reused, we can eat it, we can keep it for later, and nothing is wasted. Although I have to admit, I just love this little bouquet of old-fashioned roses and little flowers that I just couldn't resist them. And of course, I love my little sparkly LED lights. If you want to find out how to get these, look at hardestry.info. All this information will be on the blog. But over here, I have the cake stand. Now, those of you who've been following me on Hardestry know that I just love my cake stand. You can do all sorts of things with a cake stand. So by putting some of the desserts onto the cake stand, we have a table centerpiece that's edible, inexpensive, and fun. I also found these cute little pink and white striped bonbons, and I've just put them into some tiny little sherry glasses, used them as part of the decoration on the table. And hopefully people won't eat all of them before the evening is over. But they're there, and that's what we can use them for. Some little candles and some lights, and our table is set. Doesn't it look pretty? Now watch how quickly and easily you can make the meal. So we're going to start off by doing something that I used to do when I was a young kid. This was the task my sister and I were given by my mom. You take your little bowl, and this needs to be big enough to put the pink grapefruit inside. You dip the rim into egg white. It works with water as well, although egg white will give you a much better outcome. The sugar is not going to slip off. Just dip it into the egg white, and then just dip it into some sugar. Granulated sugar actually works better than powdered sugar. Just twist it around, and you've got a sparkly, snowy, shiny little sugary edge. You can also add a few pink hundreds and thousands, some little decorative sparkly pink sugar, even if you want to really get fancy, and get a pink or red edge. Once that's done, you're just going to take your grapefruit, your pink grapefruit, you've cut it in half, you've just cut the segments out, add a cherry on the top, excuse my fingers, but I'm going to eat it afterwards, And there, whoopsie, there we have a very simple starter. Now, by putting this onto the plate, it adds color to the table, and when everybody, your guests, walk in, everything looks prepared and fun. Inexpensive, very easy, won't take long to do. Now you wonder, what's the next course going to be? Well, after our starter, we're going to have our soup. Now, this is the simplest thing to do. Buy a can or a box or a jar of prepared tomato soup, warm it, dump it into the bowl, and here we have our soup dish. And to that, you're going to take a spoon, a generous spoon of sour cream or of plain yogurt, put a blob in the middle of the soup, and then you just take your knife or you take the edge of the spoon and you pull it down a little bit, give it a little bit of a heart shape in the middle of the soup, just like that. Don't look too close, but add a little sprig of herbs if you've got them on the side, and we're ready with pink and white heart-focused soup. That's your soup second course. Didn't take long, did it? Now we're got our starter, soup. Now it's time to make your salad. Choose pre-washed salad mix, very, very simple. Open your bag, dump some salad out on your plate. I love to host people, but I don't like to cook, so I'm always looking for easy methods, just some greens. And then, of course, because we're trying to do the pink theme, you're going to add some pink cranberries, some cherries. I've even used beetroot that I've trimmed into little heart shapes, and get a nice salad dressing. And here we are, I've added my cranberries, and we have our salad. That is our third course. Now for the main course, you might be wondering what to do. I suggest you get a ready-made chicken, already roasted. Make some mashed potatoes, some rice, just cook some broccoli, some asparagus, or a ready-made lasagna, something very, very simple. Just serve a small portion because we've already had quite a lot of food, and don't focus on a big fancy main course. Something quick, something easy. And then, of course, the fun is to get to the dessert. Now, I suggest you get a ready-made dessert. I'm going to try this one. I've never done it before, so we're going to see, but this is a panna cotta. And let me see what happens when we turn this upside down. I've got a slightly bigger size plate because I think it would be fun to actually have this and then put some berries around the edge. You can also get some sorbet ice cream and put it into a pretty little wine glass or a champagne glass. And you know, they always say you should test something out before you do it on the camera, but you get the idea. Whoops, and out it comes. And isn't that beautiful? We've got a little dessert. You can add some cookies around the edge, or some fresh fruit. And by the way, for those of you that don't like to bake, we can just get some ready-made heart-shaped cookies and then just spend the time icing. Get your children to help, have fun with that. You've got your dessert. I'm going to have lots of other dessert ideas at heartistry.info, so come and look at the blog. Also look at our Pinterest page. End your evening with coffee, tea, a little heart-shaped cookie to go along with it. Serve some sparkling non-alcoholic juice or some champagne to make your evening even more festive. 5-course meal, very easy, fun decorative table. Invite your friends, have some family, even some strangers, some neighbors, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day evening celebration.